Hi guys. All right, let's get down to business today. So, here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about why being healed makes you the most attractive person in the room. Like, how do you turn on your magnetism through your healing? A lot of times I talk about the importance of healing, and I haven't talked about the importance of the end goal. Like, why do you even bother to do this, right? Why do you even bother to climb into yourself? Why do you even bother to engage in this activity like your life depends on it? So it's really simple, and I'll give you the reason why it's such an amazing place to live. So if I get down to business, the reason you embark in being healed and embodying this version of yourself is because as a source being, you are emitting the frequency that is responsible for what you are seeing outside of you. Every single way that you are treated, it is occurring because of your state. It is completely running on autopilot. It runs completely devoid of any thinking because it's a mirror. You're the source image inside. And so why you would embark in being healed, let me give you an example. See, we're all seeking ourselves. There is this invisible sort of void that we don't understand, that we attempt to fill as human beings. And we don't understand what's behind our behavior. So the way that we try to fill this void is basically through things, material things, cars, houses, objects, status, titles, food, sexual partners. It doesn't matter what you collect. You just notice that you're in a state of collection at this point because there is a void that you can't quite fill and you're trying to figure out why. And so there's this need, these desires. Do you see? So you're going after them. You're seeking them outside of yourself. And this void needs to be understood as everything that you are in order to take advantage of its power. See, the sexiest person in the room isn't a physical appearance. Okay, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's not. See, the person that has that personal magnetism oozes a specific kind of vibe. A very complete, very self-assured, this is how I am, and I may not fit into what you consider quote unquote normal, but my life is magical because of it. So they just kind of live like this. They are who they are. And they're not seeking any kind of external validation. So for me, I'm not seeking that because I've understood that I am the source. I've solved the puzzle. That's why this is my reward. I get to be the constant. And since I'm completely comfortable with being the constant, now what happens is I can enter a room and people behave out of character and open up immediately and tell me whatever's going on in their lives, and somehow can even see that I can sort of figure out their problems like this. They just open up. They go out of character. It's like they're just open. It just happens. People trust me. It's a different kind of vibe. Everything is drawn. And those that love me, I know that they love me by the way that they show up. Okay? The reason this is very powerful, and this is the end game. This is, like the reason that you embark on this journey and why you can't just say, oh, I'm healed and there's nothing wrong. Okay? Why that doesn't work is because the objects of your story, your shadows, those things that you didn't like, those things that you didn't appreciate, those things about yourself that maybe you're not really seeing the value or the worth in them yet, those things are the only reason you're not living your best life. You see, these are the things that get recycled. These are your shadows. And when you can appreciate them unapologetically and you accept them as you are doing exactly what you're here to do. That is, be yourself unapologetically, appreciate the hell out of it, and love on it. love on it, because, you look back at your life and you say, you know what? I am very uniquely me, and that is my superpower. So when you embrace that totality of who you are and you really truly fall in love with that, here's what happens. Something very magical happens. You become unconditionally happy, unconditionally happy. And by unconditionally happy, I mean that you need nothing, because you've realized you are everything. So this sounds scary, right? You need nothing? What do you mean, a life without desires? That sounds scary. But here's what I want to say. It's not that you have a life without desires. That's not true. You have desires, okay? But here's what happens. Since you realized you are the desire, you are no longer serving as its obstacle. You are no longer judging it, and you're aiming for your best life no matter what, in a fearless state of knowing that whatever you want was already given. So rather than approaching life from a place of lack, of I wish I have this, I wish I have that, and trying to go hard to work for your object outside, you have understood that this was already given, that you are this, you are whole, and now all of your actions align automatically towards your goal, and so do the people, places, and things required. You stand as the constant, and everything else comes to you. This is a life without struggle. And most of you can't even imagine if that's possible. And yet I tell you why it is. Because this life defies all logic, defies all sense of norm. It's just fucking magical. And I use my language to emphasize the fact that I don't have words to put quite adequately, but I'm trying my best to tell you why I do what I do. Like, I want you to understand what the end goal is here, why you embark on healing, okay? It's to accept yourself as is, as the source. Now, the magical thing I'll continue to explain. You will recognize yourself inside every single human being. I know that sounds crazy, but you will recognize yourself inside. I didn't say on the outside. On the outside, there will be an outer shell. And that outer shell may appear different, okay? But everything is your story made real. So in a way, it's like you're the master image, that which is source, and everything outside of you, everything appearing outside of you, is your child, Christ. It is just as holy as you are, but it exists because of you. So a healed person isn't looking for anyone. A healed person is simply doing what they wish to receive because they know they already are this. So for example, if I am seeking a relationship and I have realized the relationship is with myself, I'm no longer seeking an external validation. I am healed now. I am complete unto myself. And since I am not seeking, now everything is seeking me, because everybody desires this sense of completion. And so you stand as the example of what you wish to receive. So rather than desiring love, respect, honesty, being cherished, rather than desiring for these things to be your normal, these become your normal because you are exuding these things. You are giving these things for absolutely no reason, because this is who you are. So now as that master reflection starts emitting this, everything is drawn to it. Everything that is in alignment with it. See, it's set up this way anyway. You are the vortex. You are the reason for everything. You are your desires. You are literally everything. And if I could describe yourself behind your veil of illusion, I would say that it is like you are this enormous light that has no beginning and no end. And it is everything at once. It is everything at once. And that you project a shadow. And this is your imaginary identity. This serves as your veil. And this imaginary identity is the template that is being recycled by your brain and being made into new patterns to look like other people, but they are in fact an image. It runs on autopilot because it is a mirror. And we all know how mirrors work. Unless it is a cartoon or a horror movie, real life mirrors do not move without the source image moving first. This is how you know you have mastered your state. When you master your state because you live from here, you receive exactly what you are being. This is effortless. And here's the best part. You don't have to question or wonder or guess at how hard it is, because when you do that, you always get to be right and you create your own obstacles. You don't want to define things as being harder to receive. They're not. Everything is equally made of the same thing, consciousness. And your ability to detach from it because you understand that you are that, so you become the vibration that matches that, and then that is what you receive, is how you understand that the kingdom is within you and that your experience is your reward. Today I read something very interesting. It was a very cute thing. It was someone who said, I wish... it was something along the lines of critical thinkers, how being happy lacked critical thinking skills. Okay, it's sort of this misnomer among society. The fool is happiest, the ignorant is happy. And I understand where it came from, but it's a misunderstood thing. Because the most critical thinking you will ever do in your life will entail undoing the conditioning that has you believing that happiness is a sign of ignorance. Happiness is your natural state. As I said, everything is already coming towards you because you are the source of everything. You're already set up. You are the veil deciding what you want and what you don't want. And when you have learned to master your mind, you can have anything. But you embark on this journey until you realize you are everything. And once you have that understanding, you will love yourself and the universe equally. There will be no divide. And as such, you become what is known as a source being. Now, source beings are scary, powerful beings. This is the end goal, right? This is how I live, so I might as well walk and talk my talk, right? All right, source beings are scary beings, because if you fall in love with a source being, that being is going to appear all over your world. These beings are inside of you, not outside of you. And they... Good luck trying to turn off the power of their vortex. Trying to leave one will feel like death. Now, I'm not saying that you will actually do that, okay? I'm not saying that, but it will feel like death, okay? Because they reminded you of your own internal state of happiness and joy and completion. And that pull is so powerfully magnetic, it's almost hypnotizing. And you guys don't realize what you're missing if you don't bother to climb into yourself, take a full look at everything, including your shadow, and then realize you are the whole universe now. You're complete. You are healed. That's the truth. But without climbing into yourself, without falling in love with your shadow, without seeing yourself in your completion, you can't see through yourself, and you cannot appreciate the universe that you are. How do you know that you are unhealed? If you are still seeking validation from the outside world or from anything outside of you instead of being the one that offers it, you're not healed. You can declare it all you want. In fact, I encourage you to, because it might help you climb the ladder into yourself and get you towards wanting to program your subconscious, because you were designed this way anyway. It is a very powerful, powerful, powerful force. And some of you who have fallen in love with someone like this will know, because this person will drive you completely out of character. You won't even recognize yourself. You'll just, oh, what is this force? And if you've met that kind of person, understand that they are you. And they'll never stop loving you because they are you. But they are not there to love you. They are there to mirror you. It is your responsibility to realize you are the image, the source image first. A healed person draws animals, babies, men, women, opportunities. People just show up. Hey, you need any help with anything? I think you're amazing. It is a true blessing to wake up every day and be thankful for the quality of your life and the way that people show up in it, confirming that you are the source of it all. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to experience a love that is not based on trauma bonding. Sometimes you guys do this, you enter into relationships and you become obsessed because you are still seeking yourself. You see, I said the game stops when you stop seeking yourself. But as you're still seeking yourself, you will trauma bond until you are healed. And that is not love. What that results for is some very painful lessons that will teach you what not to do. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, and there's no judgment there. But if they are painful, they are there to wake you up to what you came to fix. These are the parts of your story that provide the clues that you are there to recycle. Your soul is always attracting itself. The design in itself, it's like you've fragmented yourself into billions of pieces, and it is your job to reassemble the things that you don't want. So now the potter now takes the clay and makes it into something else that's even more beautiful. But it is your job to recycle your pain until you can use it for the gold that it is. And instruct people and walk your talk, because you do deserve a life in which you are completely healed, in which you're not trauma bonding, in which you select healthy relationships, in which you select healthy relationships in every aspect of your life, whether it's family, whether it's romantic, whether it's your place of work or the business that you run. And they run smoothly because you're smooth on the inside. These people are scary because they can drop you like that. Why? Because in nature, everything, you have to let it go. See, my superpower is this. I will love you like a wild bird, and I will set you free, knowing that all things return to me, and in a fearless way, I let you go. It is not my fault you come back and sit on my shoulders. I just have to be the love that drives you forth and brings you home. That's my superpower. It's intoxicating. I promise. And everyone has this. Everyone has this. Because when you realize that the things you think you are lacking are actually the things you should be giving in abundance, the shortcut happens. You magnify it into the world, and then you have upset the karmic balance. So now your efforts are rewarded and it all comes back in abundance. We have one job in this world. Fix, heal, fall in love with yourself. And once you've done that, emit that fearlessly. When we dare to do that, everything is drawn. Money, cars, houses, whatever. You don't even want it. You don't even care. I mean, you can enjoy them, yes. But there's no attachment to it. And because you have no attachment to it, it wants you. It's seeking you. If you've ever wondered what that feeling of that void is, when you are one of those people that don't have a void anymore, you'll know it by the way everything returns. So for example, for me, I could, spend some money, and the second I do, it comes right back. Like a magnet. It's kind of cool. I'm like, oh, I can't lose. It's a very powerful thing. And when you have that kind of superpower, you are totally devoid of need, but all your needs are met. That's why you're devoid of them. And it's a very hard thing to describe, and yet when I meet people that see like I see, and that teach the things that I teach, and that teach non-duality, and that can teach any holy scripture, whether it's Hindu or the Bible or Islamic, it doesn't matter. As long as they understand the oneness, we're on the same team. Mad respect. I understand you as a source being, and I respect you as a source being. Because what we're doing for the rest of humanity is blessing the hell out of our child, out of our creation, looking at it in the best light, loving it despite, and when we fail to do that, recognizing it within ourselves and cleaning ourselves up and then emitting it again. But you got to become love to see the love. I don't know how else to say it, but that is what we do. And if you have that, I promise you, nothing ever wants to leave you. Nothing. In fact, they want to show you how special you are, and they give you everything, because enlightenment is sexy. It's very hot. It comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And it's sexy. Because you are emitting what people want. You don't desire it. So now what happens? Everything is drawn. That's the end goal, your ability to rest and enjoy your life. So if you have gained that, and you have gained that ability, and then you still choose to serve in any way possible, mad respect. But you owe nothing to anyone other than being the best version of yourself so that you can have the best life. And I'll remind you of one last thing. This heaven's going to pass away, and this heaven will pass away, and this heaven will pass away. Meaning that as your ideas evolve, your ideas of what is huge, big, and grandiose and bigger, of whatever, dreams that are bigger, that heaven will collapse and you'll enter a new, better possibility as you expand your understanding of who you are and what you can have. So you just shine even brighter to fill up, because there's no void. Okay? But once you understand what's driving your behavior, and as an emotionally intelligent person, you can create anything out of thin air. Someone recently wrote me and asked me, how do I make a quick $1,000? So I thought about it for 2 seconds. I said a quick prayer, and in the morning I had $1,000 in my account. I'm like, oh, okay. So to answer her question, I simply thank God for it, surrendered, let go, knew it would be there, and in the morning I had it. So I have removed all obstacles towards my faith, and now my faith does all the work for me. As such, I don't need anything because I can make anything whenever I want. See the difference? So if you're going to embark on this journey, if you really want to understand the payoff of why you do it, this is it. Because you're deciding on what your idea of perfection is, and you're becoming that is your experience. That's the whole purpose of your existence. And having understood the assignment, you are now set free to live it. And for me, that is serving you all to help you understand my mission. This is me. The light bridge to heaven on earth. I am literally a dead person living in heaven. Yeah. Crazy as it is, I actually enter your dreams a lot of times, and I will show you around heaven because I'm an actual angel. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I know it sounds crazy, and yet for those of you whose dreams I have entered, you know that I can do it. So, I love you guys. Think about what I said. Don't bypass the healing, but once you've reached the healed place where you know you're the constant and you see yourself everywhere, go enjoy that. Go live that. That was the whole point of meeting me. Please go live that. But if you decide to help me share my message, and you decide to help me pitch in, and you help me share this type of knowledge, even though you don't have to, you have no idea how much I appreciate that. Because this is how I choose to serve myself, as I no longer need anything. My needs, like I said, no matter what, they're taken care of. I can go anywhere. I can go anywhere. No matter what, I'll be fine. God first. Source first. You are that source. And one day, all of you will reach the same inevitable conclusion. You'll realize how all of your living memories have been made into new patterns so that they look like other people, places, and things, but it's all you. And one day, you'll realize that no matter where you are in the world, it'll still be you. And you can't escape yourself, but you don't want to because you're in love with yourself. That's mastery. And then from there, you set about living and growing. But you're not seeking anymore. Everything is seeking you. So yeah, for those people that have evolved beyond healing, I know how hard it was. Good job. For those of you trying to bypass the healing, big mistake. Don't do that. It'll affect all of your relationships. Since you're the source image deciding how people are treating you, don't do that. But remember, how you are treated in this world will teach you what kind of relationship you have with yourself. And when you've mastered it, you'll know it. I'm telling you, it's hot. Okay. I hope this sinks in. Think about what I'm saying. And I hope that everybody realizes their worth and their true identity. Love you.